So let's begin with the 6 different methods that I might use when I evaluate the data. Some of them are much easier to use than others. They are payback, net present value, profitability index, IRR or internal rate of return, ARR, which is also the accounting rate of return, and lowest total LTC, lowest total cost. So each of these methods, we're going to evaluate them, and we're going to show you how easy. Some are easy or some are more complicated. Okay, so let's go back with the payback. We're going to start with payback first. So payback only looks at if I'm going to invest $50,000 into a project or a proposal, payback only is concerned about how quickly and how many years can I actually get my money back out of the project that I invested in. Okay, so payback is one of the easiest ones to calculate. Here's my formula. It's the cost divided by the annual after-tax benefit of the project. Okay, so this is just a formula. I'm actually not going to be doing the formulas for you, but this is the calculation for payback. Again, its only concern is how many years will it take to pay me back the money I initially put in. Obviously, the fewer amount of years is the proposal you normally want to take. Okay, next is net present value. Now, unfortunately with this one, it actually needs those time value of money charts that we talked about in Chapter 8 and Chapter 9. And it does the same concept, but not about payback. It says, look, if I know that I'm going to get X amount of money in a period of time, what is it worth now? So if I'm going to invest $100,000 over a period of time, I'm going to buy a piece of equipment, let's say, and over a period of time, every year, I'm going to get a return on my investment. So I'm going to look to see what is the present value of that money that I will get in the future. And when I add them all up, is it higher than what I'm putting out for the project? Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully it does. This one's a little bit more complicated. Like I said, it applies the present value of a stream of payments for those cash flows, for even cash flows. So if I'm going to get the same amount every year, then that's an even cash flow. When I get a different amount every year, that's called an unequal cash flow. And so I don't believe we're actually going to calculate here. So I need to look at 2 interest rates. I need to look at the interest rate charged by the supplier or the lender, and the interest rate that I could receive if I invested this same amount of money into something else. Okay, so I'm interested in 2 things. And a couple things that help you understand the lender's interest rate are the real rate of return. How much am I really getting after I take inflation out of the picture? What is the inflation and what is the risk premium on this? So let's actually take a look at something. I am going to just show you quickly one of these. This is called the NPV. And here, actually, there's one called weighted average cost of NPV. And it says, okay, we obtain, sorry about that, guys. I feel like I'm reading the PowerPoint. I am. Okay, so you're buying a piece of equipment for $100,000. You're going to put $30,000 down and finance the remaining $70,000. Your opportunity cost is 4% for the $30,000. What that means is if I didn't put this money down, I could put it in the bank and get 4%. And 8.75% for the loan itself. That's my opportunity cost. So here's how I'm going to calculate this. So here's the equity I put into it, which is the cash, plus the amount financed is the total amount paid. And so I'm actually looking at my proportion. Owner's equity divided by the total amount paid. So basically, I'm putting in 30% and I'm going to finance 70%. Okay? So the actual weighted average on this is I'm going to take 40%. I'm sorry. This is, okay, let's go back. 30% times the 4%. 4% is the actual cost or the percent value. Let's go back to this slide right here, okay? The opportunity cost for the 30,000 is 4 and 8.75 for the 70,000. So I'm multiplying 30% times the 0.04 plus 70% times the 0.0875. Remember, percents, change them to decimals when you go to multiply. So my actual real return is going to be 7.33. Okay? So the WACC, let's go back, weighted average cost of capital. This is all under the net NPV. Hold on, guys. I got a few more slides. Okay. This is going to be a little bit longer video. So I consider the net present value. So what is my investment that I'm going to get in the future? What is it worth today? Equals my present value of the benefit as calculated in the following example minus the present value of the cost of investment. So this is the money you're putting in, and this is all the amount you're going to get in return. What is it actually worth today? Here's the key factor. When you actually do this formula, actually, you know what, guys? Let's back up. Let's pick this up on the next video because I don't want this video to be too long. So this is NPV part 1.